Rush Duel is a fast-paced spin-off game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you can summon as many monsters as you want and draw up to 5 cards each turn. In this series, me and the TheDrAlex progress through each Rush Duel product release and build decks with whatever cards were available at that time. We have been drafting characters from the Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's anime and have exclusive access to those characters' boss monsters, and will continue to draft characters from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush series. Join us as we continue to battle it out in this series, Rush Duel Character Draft. Triple Build Pack Evolution Impact was released January 11th, 2025, and includes new support for dinosaurs, insects, and Red Eye's Black Dragon. Since I already have all the dinosaur characters, I will receive Superconductor Tyranno, a new legend monster, and the only new level 7 or higher dinosaur monster in the set. But I will be getting 2 new maximum pieces for my current boss monster, Dynamic Dino Dynamix. Since Alex drafted all of the insects, he will receive Delirium Calabrone, Delirium Silbix, and Fleeting Delirium Silbix. And since Alex drafted the previous Red Eye support, he will receive Red Eye's Pluto Dragon, Meteor Skull Archfiend, and the brand new maximum monster, the Red Eye's Maxi Flare Dragon. So this is the deck we're bringing to today's game. This is Dinosaur Fusion. So we did just get a brand new trap card called Ultra Evolution Miracle. And this trap card is, it's a bit weak, but I think we could maybe try and make this work. So when your opponent draws a card during their turn, choose a face-up dinosaur monster on your field. This turn, that card cannot be destroyed by card effects, which is pretty good, right? We can give something destruction immunity during our opponent's turn. That's okay. Then, you can fusion summon a level 9 or lower dinosaur-type monster by shuffling 2 dinosaur-type monsters from your graveyard into the deck as material. Now, we only have 2 options for this. One is the brand new Brachioradius, made using 2 vanillas, which is why we're playing these vanillas. It's only got 2200 attack, 2000 defense, and no effect, so we would basically throw this out, most likely in defense mode, as just kind of a sit there and protect me, I guess. The other boss monster we have is also not fantastic. So Hyper Upstart King Rex, 2800 attack, 2200 defense, not the strongest card. Place a dinosaur type monster from your graveyard on the top or bottom of the deck, and then we gain 700 attack to the end of this turn. So that will put up to 35. Then if we have Upstart Goblin in our graveyard, we can add a spell card from our graveyard to our hand. So this does mean, again, we're also locked into using Upstart Goblin if we want to use this effect, which is a really bad legend, which is also quite bad. Now, Hyper Upstart King Rex is a 7th era boss monster, so it's very, very old. These are the only dinosaurs we have as options. We're going to try this out, but again, we're not feeling really very confident. So let's fire on in and see what Alex has got for us. So last week we had the Dinosaur Maximum deck with Dynamix and its new side pieces against the Red Eyes Maximum deck, but it didn't really feel like a Red Eyes Maximum deck, so unfortunately we never got to see the Maximum. We did get to see a bunch of fusions, which was still pretty cool, but hopefully you will be able to bring back the Red Eyes Maximum deck sooner than later, and we will get to see the Maximum come out, because I think it did not quite get the show that it deserved, right? I think realistically you did get a little bit unlucky there, and unfortunately that's going to happen. Rush is not a fair game a lot of the time, unfortunately. If you just draw bad, you just draw bad. That's just kind of how it goes. This week, however, I am going to fully expect you to be on the insect package. I think it's either Papillon or Delirium. I think it's Delirium is like the archetype name. Like they're all like Delirium stuff. So you're going to be on that. I haven't looked too much into them. Like recently I looked at the newly announced Ninsects and I looked at all of their effects, but I haven't really looked into the Delirium stuff. All I really know is I think you like yoink my guys. I think you have like a super poly to fuse my guys away, which is going to be frustrating because that's not something you can easily interact with. But other than that, I think it's going to be fine. Now, I don't have anything else new, so spoilers, I'm bringing a different dinosaur deck, but it's going to be different to the dinosaur deck I brought last time. We're basically going to like just play some more dinosaurs and see how that kind of goes. That's my general play, right? We haven't got anything new. We don't want to just fall back on something else. We're going to play more dinosaurs. We do like the dinosaurs. We did already get a dinosaur win. You never know. Maybe we can get 2. I'm not feeling confident here, but I think I'm going to have fun playing the dinos either way.
Okay.
So, shall we hop on in?
Let's do it.
Wow. Alright, let's go with this. No. I feel like I've lost rock, paper, scissors a lot recently.
Yeah, okay. Huh?
So, we have a level 8. Wait a minute, that's weird. So you contribute summon this card in attack position by attributing a light insect. Okay. And then just fusion summon a light insect by sending cards from your hand or field to the grave. Okay, so we get to cheat out a level 8 and then immediately get rid of the level 8 to fuse.
Use 2 in hand.
Okay, a 3k do with a continuous effect. Face up insect-type monsters on your field cannot be destroyed by card effects. Your opponent cannot use monsters on your field as material for a fusion summon. Now that's funky. I guess that line is in there specifically for the dwarf card rather than the mirror
and prime.
Yeah, because I think the prime stuff is very widely spread. It's very used by a lot of different decks, whereas this is like, you know, I don't think they would put this in here specifically just for the mirror, but it just also happens to work for the mirror. I guess it kind of just is both. Alright, let's go with this. I'm going to summon Upstart King Rex. We're going to activate the effect, which is going to make both of us draw a card. I mean, it's not a bad draw, I suppose. Normal summon, Falling Dragon number 2.
Ooh.
I'm going to tribute 2 and summon out my Rage Wrecker Dragon Anger Rogue. So as is, this guy can threaten one of your guys, he can't threaten both.
Okay.
So I will then summon out Dino Skeleton Push Sarah. So if I have a dinosaur type normal monster in my graveyard, I can send the top 2 cards in my deck to the graveyard. One face-up dinosaur monster on my field gains attack equal to the number of dinosaur type normal monsters in the graveyard times 300 until the end of the turn. So if I use this on Anger Rogue, it doesn't really help because Anger Rogue can already attack over Sylvex, and I can reduce the attack. Well, they're both Sylvex. That's just going to make this even more annoying, isn't it? So I can get, I can weaken Fleeting and attack over that. But giving 300 extra attack to just push Sarah itself also doesn't actually do anything. So I can reduce the attack of your Fleeting at the moment by the face-up highest defense on my field, so 16. So it would drop down to 14, which means I could now trade with Push Sarah.
Yeah. I will Delirious Dream.
Okay. So you now have Anger Rogue forever, but you can't attack with it and you can't use its effect. So I'm going to go ahead and use Push Sarah here. We'll just boost his own attack. Right, so my option is I could either just set both the cards in my hand, or I could like do something a bit proactive, but that proactive play doesn't beat 3,000, so I don't think it's worth it. So I think I'm just going to set these and then pass.
Okay.
I really, really don't like Delirious Dream. I think stealing your opponent's guy is so painful. Right? It's just, it sucks so much to lose one of your guys.
Yeah, it's Crackdown, but not continuous. Which is weird.
Well, I guess Crackdown lets you, no, I guess. Delirious Dream requires you to have, like, a card on your field and a card in your hand, I guess.
Yeah, let's go with Graceful.
Oh, I just realised as well, I turned your Delirious Dream on, that's sad.
Yeah. Go with this.
Okay, so you sent 2 low levels to the grave.
Repeat over the guy I can't attack with.
Okay, so we've got Calibron out. So if you have a light attribute insect type monster in your graveyard, send top 3 cards to the graveyard, gain 500 attack to the end of the turn. You can add Sylvex from grave to hand, which you already know you've got in there. No piercing or anything, so I feel like I'm not going to take too much damage here at the moment. This is a pretty cool boss monster, actually. Just 2,500 mills, which, you know, milling is good. Boosts its own attack to get over other 25s, which is pretty standard, and also gives you another boss monster.
Pinch Hopper.
Okay. It's funny that you're using Pinch Hopper to get out the guy that can get itself out cheaper.
Yeah.
But, like, you didn't have a light, so you had to use Pinch Hopper. Well, you didn't have a light you'd want to use.
I mean, I probably could have kept one of the lights I sent for Graceful, but...
One dead. 2 dead. That was my Hoarding Plantodon, which gets me back level 8s or 10s from the graveyard. I hate that you have such frustrating trap cards. Because I've got an upstart King Rex in my hand, and I'm like, I could just turn your traps on again. But you might just not have them. But you might have them. Oh, it's so frustrating. So we're going to summon out the upstart. I'll activate the effect. Going to activate Jurassic Draw. I'm going to send Dino-Tyranno to the bin. Draw 2. That still didn't really solve my issue. So we're going to go trade in. We're going to send Anger Rogue to the bin. Then we're going to go trade in. We're going to send Rex to the bin. Go ahead and use Giant Dynamax Impact. Dynamix Impact. So I can put some cards from my graveyard back into my deck. We'll go 1, 2, 3. And probably you. We'll go 4. Then I can't pop any of your monsters, so we're going to pop a back row, and we got rid of your Rebirth. So when your opponent draws a card during the turn, or when your opponent normal or special summons a monster during your turn, while you have an insect monster in your graveyard, fusion summon a light attribute insect from you by sending one face-up monster from your field and one level 9 or lower monster from either field. Okay. Interesting. I'm going to normal summon Dino-Tyranno. Activate Dino-Tyranno. I'm going to send Upstart to the graveyard. I'm going to pop your other back row. So this is what
I did.
When your opponent normal summons a monster, place an insect from your graveyard or the bottom of your deck, destroy that summon monster. These traps you have are bonkers,
I have
bro.
some really good traps for insects now. I should have used that. Never mind.
Alright, well, I'm, somewhat still in this game, maybe, because you didn't, but that's about all I've got. So I'm going to end my turn there.
Okay.
Now, I activate my new trap card, Ultra Evolution Miracle, which unfortunately is, it's not fantastic. So I choose a face-up dinosaur on my field. This turn, that monster cannot be destroyed by card effects. Then I can fusion summon a level 9 or lower dinosaur-type monster by shuffling 2 dinosaurs from my graveyard into the deck. Now, that's all well and good. The dinosaur fusion monsters, though, aren't very big, which is kind of an issue. I guess I'll put it in attack. But, it's only a 28.
Yeah, no. I'm milling 3, though.
It's a weird one. There are only actually 2 different dinosaur fusions. So, this trap card is extremely limited in what you can actually do with it.
Yeah. Go to battle.
Yep.
What?
We take the 200. Take the 2,000. And we take the 3,000 because I can't do anything. The problem is the primary way I have to deal with your stuff is to destroy it. And you have 2 guys that say I can't destroy any of your cards, which makes us feel a little bit lopsided. For now, I'm just going to do what I can. So we're going to go ahead and drop Jest, which again I can't use to pop any of your monsters, so it has to be the 2 back row. Then I'll get a double draw. Well, how about 1,000 life points? How does that sound?
Hey, thanks.
Okay. And we've been very unlucky with that. I suppose it's not really unlucky. It's about on the correct amount of luck. But I will summon out Hoarding Plantodon, so I can place a card from my hand at the bottom of my deck, add a level 8 or 10 monster, or 1 Dino Body Heat from grave to hand. So I'll activate this effect. Has to be you. So we'll grab back. I don't have enough bodies for that to work. I guess setting 3 was actually probably the play here then. I had miscounted. Okay, we'll just take Super King Rex. I don't think it matters at this point. We'll summon Dino Skeleton Push Sarah, activate its effect. Doesn't matter where this goes. Tribute 2, summon out Super King Rex, activate its effect. We'll grab back Falling Dragon. And we will pass the turn.
Mm-hmm.
And then behold, another Ultra Evolution Miracle. Which, unfortunately, again, not going to make anything that's going to change the outcome. But I might live the turn.
This. Delirium Embrace.
Okay.
Oh, both materials have to be on the field. Oh, okay.
I think you've probably won anyway. I don't think it matters. Alright, new card comes down. So during the main phase, the fusion summon, shuffle 3 non-level 9s graveyard into the deck, gain 500 at the end of this turn, then you can shuffle 1 card in your opponent's field to the owner's deck. Okay. Well, spoiler alert, my back row is nothing, so just hit one of my monsters.
Okay. 2, 3. Shuffle 1 card.
Oh, it doesn't matter anyway. Yeah, I forgot I gained 500, so you could have just got rid of the back row in case it was something, and then just slapped over the Rex and killed me anyway. It was always guaranteed. Squeesh. Yeah, I kind of, at this point, wish I had read your cards, because I don't actually think I can win. I don't think I can take a game off you. We'll see what happens in game 2, but I am not feeling good about this. Right, we will go first. Let's see if we can accomplish something here. Let's start with my Jurassic draw. So we'll discard a card, we'll draw 2. Then we will set 1, set 2, set 3, set 4, and pass it down.
Okay.
Okay, so we have Pappy. So we go straight into Sylvix. And we set. We go battle. Swing in to the upstart King Rex. Okay. But now we have the lovely dance of playing around your back row, which I don't think I could feasibly do. So we're just going to have to kind of do what we can. We will set. We will tribute 2 and summon out Super King Rex. Oh my god, no button was used. We will activate Super King Rex. We will bring back the Crawling Dragon. Then I will go ahead and fire off my Great Dynamics Impact. Just going to put everything back. And we're going to hit one of your back row. Okay, unfortunately that was not a big hit, so we'll go battle and we will just hope this connects. Hey, and then we'll get in for 16.
Yep.
And we'll pass. That. Okay, that's fine.
Graceful.
Okie dokie. I think your legend spell might be a bit stronger than mine as well.
This.
I'll allow it.
Activate honeyed words.
Then top to cards to the graveyard, then you can add to your hand a light attribute insect monster, Delirium Embrace or Delirium Rebirth. Okay, but only from the card sent. Ooh. It's very Gamba. You only mill 2?
Alright. Well.
What does she do? If you have another face-up light attribute insect monster on your field, change the type to defense position, change the battle position of one monster in your opponent's field, then you can make one monster in your opponent's field become insect. Okay, so it's just a generic converter. You're gonna make both my guys insects. I do not consent.
Super King Rex and insect.
Okay.
Crawling Dragon and insect.
You've humbled my dinosaurs.
Activate Embrace.
Fusion summon, so you're going to fuse both my guys together.
No, it's one of each.
Either field. Okay, yeah. One has to be yours.
Fleeting Delirium.
Yeah, we're not putting up with that shit again. And you go.
Okay. Normal summon Riser.
Riser's kind of fine. Getting that back, mate.
But if I locked myself into battling with, yeah,
Probably.
okay,
There's usually little
That's fine.
sly restrictions like that tucked away.
That's fine.
I mean, these are cards. These are certainly cards. Alright, we'll go Dyna Tyranno.
The one that pops back crash.
It is the one that pops back row.
Should put back in one as well.
Well, I mean, he was going to pop himself to pop the back row, so I guess the same result happened. We'll summon out Plantodon, we'll tribute both, and summon out Super King Rex. We'll activate Super King Rex, milling and letting us get back the Crawling Dragon. Then I'm going to go ahead and activate my Giant Dynamax Impact and just put a bunch of cards back in the old deck. I really like to get rid of this because that's kind of a pain. We'll then set 1, set 2, go to battle, swing over the Riser, and then clear the last monster. Then we'll pass.
Alright. Okay.
Is that a drone?
Prepared by all.
Okay.
Activate the drone.
2 cards in the graveyard, then you can put 1 face-up monster appears for becoming an insect. Oh man, learn a new trick, Alex. You can't just do insects. Insect.
Draw. Embrace off the top.
I mean, if you had nothing without that embrace, I'm going to be a bit like, oh, that kind of sucks. But like, if you had another play anyway, it's kind of whatever, right? Because that's the thing, both your guys changed to defense, so it's not like you've like thrown a guy out an attack that's going to get stuck there.
No. Yeah.
Alright, we will summon out my Plantodon. Then I'm going to summon out my Push Sarah. I'm going to activate Push Sarah. Target Push Sarah, why not? Right, now we're going to go ahead and drop the Giant Dynamax Impact. We'll put these 4 back. I'm going to get rid of this troublesome back row, because I don't trust any of your back rows. So that with a Fusion Summon, which I don't know if that's horrifying or not. I haven't quite worked it out yet.
Yeah, I was trying to remember if you could use face-down monsters in Rush. I don't think you can.
You can, depending on what the card says, because I think the card Fusion specifically says use 2 face-up monsters, but I think Polymerization just says any cards from your hand or field.
Okay, maybe we'll experiment with that later.
We'll summon out the 2-headed King Rex. We can activate Anger Rogue's effect, which will weaken you down. Then we will just go straight to battle. We will attack over your Sylvix. And this guy just keeps getting you draws. So I think we're going to focus that. Because the other one is probably going to do something similar, I would assume, but might not give you draws. That's kind of the logic we're going with here. Do we want to do anything here? Probably not. I think this is fine.
Gamba.
Okay. It's a weird one, because I feel like this card punishes you really hard if you're just playing any big-ish number of cards that aren't archetype cards. Like, if you mill, like, Jest Legend, it's like, oh, that sucks, right? But you're probably playing, like, 2 Legends. Well, we know you're playing Riser, so you're playing 3 Legends plus Jest at the very least that don't meet this card's requirement. But if that is it, and you've got 36 cards that do meet this card's requirement, you're probably going to hit it.
Chopper.
Okay, who are we getting out?
Brown.
Okay.
Her effect.
Got out the Schwell. Ah! Oh, bug.
One last one of these.
I mean, I'm happy it's your last. I'm not happy that it's here. Or Anger Rogue. I'm taking a fat 44, which is not ideal. So we're going to do this. We'll do this. I don't think there's much else going on. I'll do this, and I will probably do this. We'll just pass. So, other than your big fusion, you haven't actually had pretty much anything that deals with set 3.
Yeah. I don't think Impact does. Other than another trap.
Oh, I've seen your legend trap now. Okay, so you can shuffle one of my cards away. Now, is that a problem? If you shuffle my card away, I will still have 2 cards. Which means the maximum damage I'm taking is going to be 35. So I would be living. You know what? This is fine. We'll allow this. This does that you put more cards back in your deck.
Yeah. Okay. Why not?
The more I think about it, the more I'm thinking I should have tried to interfere with that in some way. But... ooh. Depends. It really does depend. Depends what else was in your hand. You had 5 cards. Okay. You take the 35. Probably fine. Okay, we set. And I'm going to go to the end phase. Oh! Okay. That... okay. We're going to scoop that.
Okay.
My trap card needs me to have a face at monster, which I completely forgot. Yeah, I did not play this particularly well, but even so, I don't... Right, so what I had was I had Shiny Shady. So I could have flipped your fusion, I'm not going to try and pronounce its name, face down, which could have... It would have prevented you from shuffling cards back from your graveyard into your deck. It would have made me not take that 3500 direct attack. My logic was that if I flip this down and then you just like make another one, you then get to get rid of my board and then just attack me directly anyway. So I was like, I'm not dead from this. You're not threatening lethal, so I can kind of get away with this. And you're always going to end with a lot of cards in your hand, I think. I think you were never going to go down to like 0 cards in hand. So you weren't, you know, even though you only had 3 cards left in deck, it was probably going to be like another 4 turns before you actually got decked out. So I wasn't feeling like confident there. So the trap cards I had down was Ultra Evolution Miracle. So the plan was leave a gap open so that I can use it, fuse into a guy in defense mode, just kind of sit on it. But you can't do the fusion part of the effect unless you do the protection part of the effect.
Okay.
It's a weird one. So Ultra Evolution Miracle is just, I mean, I think we all kind of knew this card was bad as soon as we saw it, but it's so awkward. First off, the only time you can activate it is when your opponent draws. So you either have to shotgun it immediately or use it when your opponent like uses a draw spell or something. So that's initially bad. Then you have to have a face at dinosaur to use it, which again is also kind of bad because like in a situation like this, that doesn't really work. Then you can only fusion summon a level 9 or lower dinosaur. Bearing in mind all the fusions for dinosaurs are level 9 or lower at the moment. So that's another thing that's bad. There are only 2 different dinosaur boss monsters, one of which has 2800 attack, which in this day and age, again, it's a 7's error boss monster, so it's kind of garbage. The other one being the new Brachio Radius, which is a 2200 attack vanilla. So like,
it's an old vanilla, right? Yeah.
Those are the options we have to make use of Ultra Evolution Miracle. So this card is just kind of ass. It's basically use it on your maximum just to give it like spell and monster protection, but only to destruction effects. And then you basically, I think, just always forget about the fusion part. I think the fusion part is pretty bad. In hindsight, after like playing with it, I think if you want to make this card work in a fusion deck, you have to play the other dinosaur traps that will lower your opponent's attack or make your dinosaurs bigger, because a 28 is just unrealistically going to survive during your opponent's turn. It's just not. We're in a meta and we're in a like time of the game where everyone makes big chungus guys that can just run over you and get in for a ton of damage. So it didn't feel great, let's put it that way. It felt like the new cards that we got, like for example, Giant Dynamax Impact is a really good card. But we're in like Ryozai meta. We have obviously your insects have like destruction prevention. I feel like destruction is not as good as it used to be. Now it's still a good card because destruction is not always dead, right? But it's just in a meta, I think, where like spinning cards is always going to be so much stronger. It is a little bit lacking. Jurassic Draw is always going to be welcome. Everyone really likes filtering. You know, some of the new cards are really good, but like, I feel like what we need is a new dinosaur fusion. Because what's the point of giving us support cards for dinosaur fusions if we're still making a card that was released 4 years ago as your ace monster? And that boss also, by the way, still in order to use its effect, locks you into using Upstart Goblin as a legend card, which is so bad. It's so astronomically bad. Yeah, I mean, Dinosaur Fusion I think was always going to be a bit cope. I didn't expect it to be, like, this bad, but it was pretty bad. I mean, again, the only chance I had to win here, the only chance in hell I had to win, was decking you out. I don't think there was a possible way for me to beat you otherwise. You have the Destruction Prevention from your Fleeting Delirium Sylvix, which is just a pain in the ass to get around. On top of the fact it's on, like, a 3,000 body, so, like, that's not easy. At least, like, Ryozai is a 27, which, like, there isn't a huge difference, but there are a decent amount of, like, 28s and 29s that can attack over that can't very easily clear Sylvix.
Yeah.
Your Oneriferina, that one. The big mummy bug. She is, I mean, pretty cool, right? It's not, like, an insanely powerful boss, but it's a good boss, right? It's made using generic materials, which includes your opponent's stuff sometimes. It's got a decent attack stat. Its effect is recycling. It goes up to 3,500, which, you know, is a decent number to hit. And you can shuffle any card from the opponent's field back into their deck. And like we were just saying, spinning effects are so much more powerful right now because we have these destruction prevention effects, which does make it a pretty cool boss. I think the fact that you're intended to use your opponent's monsters gives this extra value, because effectively you're minusing your opponent when you summon it, and then you get to minus your opponent again when you use its effect. So it's actually pretty good, I think, just because it gains that additional value. The rest of the deck that you've got seems pretty cool. Obviously, you know, Calibron is decent. It's not like, again, it's not insane, but like it's good, right? 25 goes up to 3,000, gets you an extra boss back to your hand. That boss can then summon itself a little bit easier, and then you could just immediately use its effect to perform a fusion summon. There's just like a lot of different things going on there. And then we didn't get to see your traps too much other than in game 1, but your traps, when we did see them, were high impact, because that was the issue. I was like, I can deal with these bosses, but I need to stick Anger Rogue to do that. And you have so many traps that now, because I think you very quickly would identify that I need Anger Rogue to deal with your shit, so you'll just save your traps for that. And then I'm like, well, now I can't win, because I've got 3 bodies. I can recycle the bodies a little bit. Realistically, I don't think I'm going to recycle them as much as you have traps and that you can recycle your traps. So, like, it's awkward. It's very awkward. But again, this was one of the, like, this was like a coughing baby versus, like, atomic bomb kind of situation, right? These decks were so highly mismatched. I was really hoping the dinosaurs could get another thing. I mean, it just goes to show that maybe the dynamic stuff isn't actually that bad by comparison. But like I said, I would like to see a new fusion dinosaur. I think that'd be really cool. I do think the new insects are cool. I don't know how they're going to fare in a competitive setting. I feel like they're not. What's the best way to, like, phrase this? I don't think the new insects are bad. I think they have a lot of potential, but you didn't do anything insanely unfair, which I think a lot of the best decks in the game right now do. So, like, I could see this being, like, maybe a tier 2, tier 3 deck. Like, it will be there. I think it will have a little bit of representation. I think it will do okay in a lot of different matchups. Do I think it's going to be, like, a top-tier meta threat? Do I think it's going to throw the big boys? Probably not. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. But, I mean, I had fun playing the dinos, even though it didn't do very well. But GG, buddy.
GG.